Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Yuhastama, and today we're going to be doing our fourth podcast of this season. Joining me are a couple of guests. We apologize for all the inconvenience and how we couldn't do it on Wednesday, the Champions League game. But the important thing is that we are here now and that we are ready to speak about today's performance and the future of Barca. I believe I already introduced myself, but in case you didn't hear me, I am Yuhastama on our Barca. So if you'd like to, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm Jorge, lifelong Barca fan, big, lurker supporter on our Barca. So excited to talk about the exciting game today.
I'm James, in Reddit, I'm Metallica fan 530. I've been a Barca fan for I think about 2007, and pretty excited to talk about the game.
All right, very nice. Our first talking point is today's game and the overall team performance. I'm going to start off, I suppose, and I felt like the overall team performance today was a very positive one. I believe that we were definitely moving in the right direction, and we had gotten the right reaction to the tie against Malaga. Rakitic, of course, showing what he can do. Messi's brilliance and Neymar's quick feet definitely helped, and the appearance of Xavi are all notable examples of our response to our tie. We did win the game, of course, with a hefty scoreline, to say the least, and that was always great to hear. Overall, I felt that we were pretty good. I felt, however, that we did have some issues with backtracking. I felt like sometimes they could catch us on the wrong foot, especially those long-range attempts. We should close them down before they're, further in our half, because, as you probably know, in the first 5-6 minutes there was a attempt on goal that hit the post. I mean, if that thing would have gone in, it could have potentially changed the game. So I feel like we should make sure we improve on that. But overall, a good performance, and it's good to see Luis Enrique's side improve.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think that especially Matthew, he was playing out of his mind, but that kind of just highlights the point, like you're saying, that those counters and that pressure from their offense shouldn't have been a factor to begin with. So big props to him for his amazing game, but potentially, a question mark there allowing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the definitely positive sides of the match was how solid our defense is, how solid it's been all season, and I think one of the key things of why we're doing so well is because we have that confidence of having a really solid back line, which we didn't have last season. Also, players like Rakitic, who are doing a lot more to break down the park buses, is definitely positive.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Rakitic, going on the point about Rakitic, he's never really afraid of doing something different. If you noticed, he kind of chipped the ball over the opposition. It showed how confident he was, even in very tight situations, and it was great to see him do well on that. Anything else anyone would like to add?
Yeah, I mean, before the game, I watched the 2010 5-0 Clasico, and it was exciting to see. I mean, Messi's goal, just that pressure there, and kind of bringing the pressure back has already, proven very effective, and I hope to see that and maybe even see the team step it up a notch and just always be hungry for the ball, always be quick when they lose the ball to get it back. We've seen how effective that has been in the past, and yeah, keep building on that.
Mm-hmm. Real Madrid, of course. I hate to go so early in the podcast and talk about Real Madrid, but it is important to mention our opposition in this game and in La Liga in general. Atletico Madrid is still a force to be reckoned with, and Real Madrid, of course, with big splurges over the summer, especially on James and on some other smaller talent. But actually not that small, but still, smaller in terms of cash. Chicharito, of course, he's, if I'm correct, now at Real Madrid on a year's loan. And I feel like their quick counterattacks, just like Celta tried to pull off, and although Celta has lesser experience than Real Madrid, it just proves that if an opposition that's really dedicated to that quick counterattack play can catch us on the back foot, we need to be ready for that. Matthew's speed, Alba as well, and Dani Alves, let's not forget him. They're all great, fast players. But of course, Piqué, he's not really known for being too fast. And in the Malaga game, it showed some signs of a little bit slow play, maybe not enough confidence. But yeah, Mathieu is a force to be reckoned with. He's tall, he's quick, and I feel like we can definitely close down those counterattacks. So going on to the next point, we have a lot of talent here at Barca. We always kind of had. And of course, with the likes of Munir, Sandro, and let's not forget Dongu on the B team, all that together pretty much makes one heck of a striking force for the future. Anything that you'd like to talk about Munir today or anything like that?
Well, Munir wasn't particularly impressive today. He missed a lot of really easy chances. I think the one that Messi put up for him, and it went just wide, was something he should have probably put in the back of the net. But he's been pretty good. And though he got the start, I really think Sandro should have gotten the start. He was on a better run of form. So it was a bit disappointing not to see Sandro in the game, but some positive things from our youngsters.
Yeah, I totally agree. Munir's movement and just, work rate is fantastic. So hopefully that clinical aspect of his finishing, picks up, whether it's through, getting minutes in Barca B once Suarez comes on or whatever that is. It'll be exciting to see that.
Sandro especially, I think, although maybe he's not as skillful as Munir, he definitely is a clinical finisher and a physical force up front, which is something that, in last podcast we were talking about, he's very strong. He's not afraid to get up in there, challenge the ball, chase around a little bit, and I think he could be the key to Barca's success in the future, should we hold on to him, and which, well, we should, in my opinion. Munir, of course, today was a little bit of a disappointing thing, a disappointing game for him. A clear chance that was unfortunately missed, but still, the fact that he found that space at such a young age and recognized that he should make a run was impressive. But yes, I believe, warning, unpopular opinion coming here, I feel like sometimes we could give these players a little bit too much too fast. I hate to bring up Bojan, but in some ways we kind of rushed him. We expected too much, and when he didn't necessarily deliver, we put him on loan. And when I think it's because if you rush something, it may not turn out the way that you hope it would. So I hope Munir both has the maturity and the board has the maturity to understand that Munir needs time and he needs some space, and that's going full circle where Sandro could give him a break, switch in and out. And I'm sure everything will change when Suarez comes in.
Yeah, like it's always great giving minutes to youngsters. You want to get game experience with them, but it also kind of it overwhelms them. Sometimes they're not ready for first team action, and they gotta find a balance between playing experienced players and playing youngsters. So far, I think they're trying to find that balance, and it's working out pretty well. But they gotta be careful, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Now, Xavi, going on the other side of things, Xavi is not a youngster, but he definitely had a fantastic game. Some great passes. He switched up play. There were certain really high stakes moments, where everyone was up front, everyone was crowding the ball, and Xavi showed his experience on the field to kind of switch up play, cross the ball over to the other side, split up the defense, give some space, and give some chase, William. So that way, our wingers could cross in. I think Xavi performed very well, and I think Xavi could be the key to nurturing in a new generation. Because as much as we may say, oh, Xavi's old, he probably will retire soon, he's still got a lot to give, and probably to the youngsters as well.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious to hear what you guys think about the whole Xavi, Rakitic, Iniesta. Who would you guys like to see for the PSG match? I mean, I think, like you said, Xavi had an amazing game, and he and Rakitic seem to play fantastically together. So I'm just wondering, how Iniesta fits into the picture.
Mm-hmm. Jace, would you like to comment on that first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of doubt coming into this game about wherever Xavi Rakitic midfield would work, and it's been proven right. It can work. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna fit that in the PSG game. I think the safe bet would be going with a maybe Xavi Iniesta role, since they're more experienced and have more chemistry together. But I wouldn't be surprised if Luis Enrique mixed it up.
Mm-hmm. I think Busquets is always, a very prominent force on there. He never really disappears. He only prepares his next move. Really, it reminds me of a old, I believe it was Marine quote, which says, "Oh, we're not retreating. We're strategically backing off," or something like that. And I think that's what kind of Busquets did. Busquets, if I'm correct, he did play the full 90 minutes today, but I felt like sometimes he could drift in and out. I didn't see him contribute too well. So what I'd like to see is a Rakitic at DM, mostly because he could both make tackles. He's definitely capable of them, and he could also provide those long shots while also staying back. And then I would recommend having Iniesta and Xavi, Iniesta on the left and Xavi on the right. So that way we would have kind of a balance of maturity, and the new kid on the block would be in DMs, feeding those balls to Iniesta and to Xavi. That's my opinion.
And actually, Busquets came off for Bartra in the 60-something minute, I think, and gave way for Mascherano to play the defensive mid role a little bit, which I thought was awesome to see. And again, just testament to Lucho's willingness to put Mascherano in, give Bartra some minutes, and it's just all it's a big question mark in the mid. It's like, how do you keep all these people rotated? How do you fit them all in? And it's a big, exciting thing.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about something. I kind of lost my train of thought, to be honest. Oh, yes, Busquets and Mascherano kind of competing for that DM spot, that defensive midfielder. I feel like Mascherano would probably be more of a true defensive midfielder, but I feel like Busquets, he always shines in big games. He's so calm. He's very tall, so I hate to kind of bring out like a tall stereotype here, but he can see the game a little bit at an angle that maybe some other players wouldn't, shorter players like Xavi and so on. So he also has that natural vision that does not have to do with height. Natural vision of seeing where to play a pass, pass it to the wings, do some tiki-taka, some give-back play. So I feel like Busquets is a great contender if we are going to go on full-on offense like we did on Manchester City last year.
Yeah, Busquets is definitely crucial to the side because he can kind of sit deep back and give balls to our attackers. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see who plays that DM role. For me, it's always gonna be Busquets because it's just that crucial to the side. There's no one really like him. But if we need to go more defensive, someone like Mascherano can come in. But like, if there's somebody to replace like Busquets, like for position, it'd be Rakitic playing that role, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love that statistic of Busquets where it's like the assist to the assist, and he's like, I don't know, at about 7 of those this season so far, where he'll make that crucial interception and then pass to Messi that leads to the assist. Again, just pointing to how crucial he is to the side.
Mm-hmm. He's such a playmaker. I believe he's probably perhaps the most underrated player on the planet right now. People don't necessarily understand that. like the huge role that Busquets plays. DMs many times can be completely overruled or overlooked. Excuse me, if they can't do a wicked long shot or if they can't do some insane dribbling skills. Many times people bring up Pogba as the the envisioned young DM who can take long shots, who can be a very powerful player on the field. But I don't believe we should discount Busquets. I believe Busquets is, a fantastic player. I believe he's crucial to the side's success. And I feel like I'm a broken record player here. I'm repeating myself, but I feel like Busquets is the key to winning big matches.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, let's head on to the bench and players who haven't really had a chance to really play yet this season. Of course, names that come to mind are Suarez and Vermaelen. Or I'm not sure exactly if I pronounced that name right. Vermaelen, right?
I think Vermaelen. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Vermaelen.
Vermaelen.
We got three different things, but I'm gonna call him Vermaelen from now on, if I can remember. But Vermaelen, he's been recently scoring goals with the younger sides, and although that may not mean much, I think it means that he can, at least to me, he can play at the top flight very soon. If I'm correct, he got the medical green light for next game, and I'm just really excited to see him make his Barca debut. I think he's a powerful player both in the air and on the ground. So I'm really excited for him. Now, of course, we could go on and on about Suarez's credentials and what he brings to the table, but all I'm gonna say is that Suarez, when we unleash him, Real Madrid better prepare themselves.
You could see he looked hungry in the stands today. He was like, if I was in, I'd be tapping those in, Munir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, you could see it also in the friendly against Indonesia. He really did try to get involved in the attack, and those two goals that he had really showed that. So it's gonna be pretty awesome when he comes into the side.
Mm-hmm. Now, an honest question here: where is Rafinha? Is he injured or is he not playing recently?
From what I heard, he was injured.
Okay, that's not good to hear. Because I was thinking, when we were talking about the midfielder a little bit earlier, especially with Xavi and so on, let's not forget that if Rafinha recovers from the injury, he can definitely contribute that pace, and that Brazilian skill to really prove himself on the big stage, both in Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and later on in the year, maybe the Super Copa and things like that. And I'm very excited for all talents, but I think Rafinha could be the key to our kind of a pushing forward midfield. So I am at the end of my roadmap here, but in case any of you want to make some final statements about the game today.
It was really, really good. I mean, we played like I haven't seen them play like the all season like this. This was a really, really positive result, and it shows that we can bring back some of that form we had under Pep and under Tito as well. So I really like the result. I want to see how we can take that into the PSG game.
Completely agree. Yeah, that hunger, the intensity, all that seems to be back, and I hope that Lucho can keep it in them and keep pushing. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Simeone has always been kind of the master of keeping the squad hungry, but I feel like Lucho, or Luis Enrique, depending on what you call him, could definitely push all these players. Like, you could tell when we tied against Malaga, he wasn't satisfied. He knew that getting maybe 1 point was not what he wanted. It could have been what we wanted under Tata, but it was not what we wanted from Lucho's squad. So I think he really prepped up the players. And keep in mind, this was only in a very short span. 3 days? 2-3 days that he probably had. So I feel like he's done a phenomenal job on keeping these players up on their toes and keeping them ready to play. Bartra, of course, last season, many would argue he hasn't played enough. this season, I feel like, Lucio has made the improvement of recognizing Bartra's talent, growing him as a player, and other players, could do the same, like Munir and Sandro. So that's about all we have time for today. Thank you for tuning in, no matter where you are across the globe. It's always good to communicate with some fellow coolists. So from me, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.